Hi, I'm Coach Amber, and welcome to the Revero Success Story podcast. Today we have Suzi with us, and she will be talking about her success with a meat-based diet. Welcome, Suzi.
Thank you, Amber. It's nice to be here.
Awesome. So glad that you're here. Let's start out. The first question I want to know is, were you having any issues before starting a meat-based diet, like any kind of health problems you want to talk about?
Well, I was basically very heavy as a child, and those problems continued into my teens when I tried to enter the Navy at age 17, and I was too fat. So I quickly starved myself and liquefied myself to be able to get into the Navy. And that was just the beginning of that whole lifestyle. I came from Battle Creek, Michigan, which is also the home of Kellogg's. So I was a cereal girl, always eating cereal, always encouraged to eat cereal. And that was what I was made of. So no wonder I was large when at 17, I wanted to go into the Navy. And all those habits kept with me all through the years until I thought, I want to have babies. And that would be 1992 when I was 21. And I thought, I can't be fat if I want to have babies, because if babies make you fatter. Well, I consider it a God thing that I'll show you my book. This book I found, Protein Power, and by Dr. Eads. And that's what I read in 1996. And it got me watching my carb amounts and not eating so much cereal and breads and rice and everything else. And it really helped me through my baby making years. So I had 7 babies. And and that really helped me through life. Plus it helped me raise them and still some of those ideas in their head. But I can see that it did now. I can see that it didn't go far enough. They're all really still eating a lot of carbs. And what happened to me further was when I got out of the Navy and started having the babies, I became sick again in 2018, really sick. And they thought it was my MS because I have MS, but it wasn't my MS. They found that I had babesiosis, which is a parasite that they get in Africa. And while I was in the hospital, I'm thinking, oh, why are you so sick? And they couldn't figure it out. They were distracted by my having MS, thinking it was MS, but which it wasn't. So, which probably made it hard for them to find the real problem. And it was a very special doctor in one of my emergency room visits that found the parasite in my blood. But the point of this whole part of my life was, while I was laying in the hospital, I was put in the hospital for about 3 months. So they were trying to figure it out. I thought, I just want to be healthy. I just have to be healthy. So I started reading about that, and I found paleo. So on top of my carb restriction, and I could see that whole foods, real foods, might be on something. They cured my babesiosis, and I entered my Primal Health Coach Institute program. So that's really where, I learned real skills and science to heal my life. Though they weren't encouraging me so much to eat meat, I found through experience and trials that it was the meat that was the one thing that was really doing me well, getting me healthy. So yeah, so here I am.
Can you name some of the symptoms you were having that related to that? Like you were in the hospital, what symptoms made you get help? What were you experiencing?
Well, from that babesiosis, that had their own, it's like so many of the problems were also MS problems, which was giving them, the healthcare workers and doctors and nurses, they couldn't find how it could be split off or separated, but it was separated. And I had no energy. And of course I was getting overweight again because I had quit monitoring my carbs. And I don't know.
Okay, so when you started a meat-based diet, how did you implement it? Like, what were you eating? And when you started eating more meat, did you have any transitional issues?
So I was doing the low carb and getting healthier from the babesiosis and still trying to watch my health coach diet that they had given me at the Institute. All whole foods, healthy foods. I started monitoring my vegetable oils through them. And of course, my insulin production and my exercise, building muscles, which I could see that needed meat, the protein. And yeah, I don't know.
What does a typical day look like for you as far as eating goes?
Thank you. A typical day for me is I fast till 1, where I'll have brown rice, not brown rice, whole grain rice, which is different. It's like it's not really a grain. The body processes it as a grass, and there's not insulin production, but it also helps the yolk. I have it with yogurt, which I do for my digestion, and a little bit of NutraSweet herb that I know to avoid the artificial sweeteners, which I do, but I like that one. So I have that in the mid-afternoon, and then for evening, I generally eat almost every night at the diner where they've known me and they make lots of different steaks and they know that I want protein. So I will eat there almost every night. Yeah.
That sounds nice. Okay, so after you started eating more meat, did you notice any improvements in some of the symptoms you were having? And I'm really curious about the MS part as far as noticing any changes in that.
Yes. So I got a MRI, which is a picture of my brain, which showed me that I had MS. You could see the little lesions in the X-ray. When I started eating meat, it was 3 years ago. First year I was meat only, and then I thought I got into my primal program, and I could see that they were encouraging eating more plants. So I started to incorporate that. And even at this time, I think that hardcore meat only would do me better, because also I've found reading about my MS, my lesions, that protein is a healer. So maybe in the future I will even go back to being meat only. But at this time, it's like I still have kids at home, and I still find it hard to eat that way when I have other people around me. And it's also, I've found that it's really hard to incorporate eating that meat with raising the kids. And I can see on my Facebook groups, which I'm still in keto and lots of different eating kind of groups, that raising kids is really one of the hardest things for my age group. So I'm going to go forward in life and try and do more of that. Even at this time, we do dry meat, and I try to make the meat more easily for them to eat because they don't like the fat, and which I didn't like the fat when I was in beginning. And I've learned to love it through my knowledge and how good it's for me. But yeah, so in the future, I will incorporate more meats into my family's diet and get the kids to be eating that way naturally. I want them to be part of their habits.
Yeah, that is so important. So, have you had another brain scan since starting eating more meat?
I've had one this year, and it's been 3 years, and it's exactly the same, which to me is progress. It's beautiful.
That's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
what about your fatigue? You mentioned you were tired a lot. How has that been?
So I have great energy now, and I think it is because of the meat. I don't have any addictions to these crashes, eating things that gets my energy up and then crashes me. So I think it's really beautiful, and it encourages my energy to go, let's run, let's do some push-ups. And also, I believe it's making me smarter because it is healing my brain. That's what I feel like. And it's just where we should be as a human species. We should be eating this way because the science shows us. Yeah, so I'm going to go forward, and with my primal coaching, I've learned how to do a 13-week program that gets people to get off these things that we are all encouraged to eat in this American society, the sad standard American diet, which encourages all this stuff, and money encourages it, advertisement, everything, even the addiction encourages you to eat more and more potato chips and popcorn. That popcorn was my big thing. And besides the cereal. But yeah, so I hope to take that to churches. Well, that's where I'm at. I think that I'm a Christian, and I feel like we should not have our creation, our bodies this way. We should be taking care of them the best we can, but we just don't know how. And I want to help, especially that community, learn it. So that's my next step in life, to take that to my church, these 13-week programs, trying to work that out. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. But another thing I have going is I love drying meat. And I got that idea from trying to make it appealing to my children. And so I'm doing that. And I'm like, if it's not me, we need this. Everyone needs this. So I want to start doing snacks that are dried meat. And I do all kinds of them. And some of them I season, which I know is, in hard carnivore, seasonings are, a no-go. But I think, to ease these women into this, I'm going to make some of them have some seasoning on it. And my idea was to make meat knots. That was my first idea. And I call it meat knots because it's like grape nuts, the cereal that I used to eat. It was healthy, that's little nuggets, and I put them on yogurt, and then I'm able to, put the stevia on it, and the kids will eat that. So that's a good one. But I'm going to go forward and searching that out and trying to do that. The COVID made it hard for me to get that ball rolling this past year because they're not working down there. The approvers, the man is not able.
I can understand, but I think you have some beautiful ideas, and I'm so happy that you found a way to make your life easier. And so kudos to you. And thank you so much for joining us, Suzi, and sharing your story.
I'm so happy, and I hope everyone that's trying this, just be encouraged. I believe it's true, and I'm so happy to be in it myself. Thank you very much, Amber.
Absolutely. And thank you. And you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye.
Join Revero.health for a 30-day free trial to get access to live Q&A with VIP guests, social community meetings, member discounts, low-carb healthcare providers list, forum, workouts, monthly challenges, early access to podcasts, recipes, carnivore diet guide, fasting guide, shred guide, and much more.